Brittney Griner is, in fact, a man. One of the videos that give us cause to say that is this video. It is from her Instagram.
Got my hand right here.
Griner cusses Caitlin Clark, uses profanity, is jealous of play, attacks Caitlin Clark. And let me explain what's happening. You are seeing a lot of very, very racist women, right? These are racist women who were taught that they were God's gift to women's basketball, that they are black, and because of that, they are better than white people at sports. That's the one area that they can succeed over white people in sports, right? And this is their league, right? Then you got a young...
So clearly whatever AI detection system was used when Brittney posted this and it stayed up for 106 weeks was not like, oh, this is a female chest, we have to take this down. Oftentimes, if breast cancer runs in a family, women will preemptively get like double mastectomies. There's some great surgeons out there, don't get me wrong, but I don't see any scars on Brittney's chest that would be indicative of a double mastectomy or top surgery for gender transition. Brittney.
The WNBA just detonated a bombshell that's got Brittney Griner breaking into a cold sweat. After years of rumors, side comments, and internet theories, the league has finally made it official. Gender testing is now mandatory for every player. And the timing couldn't be worse for Griner. She's already facing massive heat over her recent, highly controversial remarks about Caitlin Clark. This changes the game, literally. Is the WNBA finally doing what needed to be done? Or is this just another headline-grabbing stunt stirring chaos in women's basketball? Some are already pushing a bold claim. Brittney Griner isn't biologically female. One of the videos...
Got my hand right here.
Fueling this debate is an old clip from her own Instagram story. Yes, that far back. Now remember, Instagram uses a mix of AI and real human moderators to prevent inappropriate content from going public. So the fact that this shirtless video stayed up for 106 weeks, that says something. If the AI couldn't classify it as explicit female content, it suggests even the algorithm didn't read her body as biologically female. Sure, some women choose double mastectomies as a preventative measure if breast cancer runs in their family.
And she was detained and arrested in Russia for smuggling some amount of...
And yeah, there are some phenomenal surgeons out there, but let's be real. Griner's chest doesn't show any of the scarring typically seen after top surgery or mastectomies. Now here we are. Griner's past is catching up to her in full force. Just as the uproar over her viral clip where she appeared to insult Caitlin Clark with offensive slurs was finally fading, the WNBA hits her with a brutal curveball, mandatory gender testing. And whether you see it as poetic justice or a PR disaster, the timing couldn't be more intense. The league tried to pass this off as a standard policy update, but let's not kid ourselves.
Recently, a momentous personal occasion has happened for her.
You're about to be a mom. How is that feeling? Pops. Oh, let me get it together.
This reeks of deeper motives, and Griner's name is all over it. For years, there have been murmurs, some whispered, some shouted, about whether all WNBA players are truly biologically female. The league has tiptoed around this like it's radioactive, but clearly the silence couldn't last forever. Their official statement, boringly bland, something about competitive integrity and ensuring fairness. But everyone knows what's really being said between the lines. The WNBA is finally addressing the elephant that's been sitting courtside for years. Certain things just don't add up when it comes to some players, and it's not just hearsay. Let's talk about this moment that left fans stunned. You're about to be a mom. How's that feel? Griner pauses. Let me get it together. About to be a pops. Wait, what? She's here. 7/8/24. The moment was meant to be sweet, but it only poured fuel on the growing firestorm.
Clark, in which Brittney Griner committed an offensive foul.
She fouled out, had 6, and it was the ticky-tack fouls, and again, Caitlin Clark doing a little bit of an acting job.
Since day one, Brittney Griner has been the center of these kinds of conversations. Her physicality, voice, and overall presence have always sparked questions. The kind of questions mainstream sports outlets have been too scared to explore. But now that the WNBA is officially rolling out mandatory testing, those hushed debates are about to be met with hard science. According to reports, the new policy includes in-depth hormonal and chromosomal analysis. This isn't your standard drug screening. We're talking full-on biological profiling before each season kicks off. The results? Handled by independent medical professionals. And any athlete who doesn't meet the criteria for female competition will be banned from participating. As expected, major voices in the media are already up in arms, calling the policy discriminatory, invasive, and transphobic. But here's the core argument. Women's sports are designed for women. That's not hate. It's basic biological reality. If someone can't prove they're biologically female, should they really be competing with those who are? This announcement couldn't have landed at a worse time for Griner. She's still dealing with the backlash from that viral clip, the one where she appeared to call Caitlin Clark a racial slur. That moment exposed more than just poor judgment. It pulled back the curtain on how Griner really feels about the rising star who's currently reviving the entire league. Now, on top of the PR crisis, Griner may have to fight for her very right to be on the court.
In a viral clip, after she made a foul play, Griner appears to mouth something rather controversial. It might be, though we don't know, trash and possibly fucking white girl. Others have suggested it might be trash and fucking whack call. We don't know what she's mouthing, but she seems to, have a mouth on her and not exactly be in the gratitude space. Griner herself hasn't commented. Now, why is that? If you were being accused of making racist statements, I think you'd want to clear that up quickly. You'd race to the cameras and put out a statement on X to say, I said fucking whack call. I didn't say effing white girl. But she's not. She's apparently totally comfortable letting those allegations linger. Maybe she's worried that the people on the bench or the people right behind her had a recording going.
Let's not pretend we haven't all noticed. Griner stands 6'9", has a voice deeper than Barry White's, and exhibits physical traits more commonly found in male athletes. This isn't about body shaming, it's about facts that have been conveniently ignored for far too long. Then there's the infamous Instagram video of her topless, a clip that's been online for years and never flagged as inappropriate female. Nudity. If even Instagram's AI can't detect her as a woman, that's a red flag. When machines are confused, maybe it's time for humans to ask some real questions too. But maybe the biggest argument isn't what you see, it's what she does. Griner's physical dominance in the WNBA has never been subtle. Superior reach, greater strength, athleticism that goes far beyond the norm for female athletes. It's undeniable that those traits have given her a huge edge, one she likely wouldn't have had if she were competing against biological males. At this point, speculation around her background has reached a boiling point. Some believe she might be intersex, which could still provide significant physical advantages. Others think ongoing hormone therapy could be helping her maintain a performance edge. Whatever the truth is, this new policy is finally going to bring answers. But things get even messier when you look into Griner's personal life. From how she presents herself socially to how she moves through romantic relationships, her behavior patterns have always aligned more with male norms than female ones. And no, this isn't about sexuality. Plenty of women are gay. This is about deeply ingrained biological and behavioral traits that don't quite match typical female development. It's safe to say the WNBA didn't make this decision on a whim. They've been under mounting pressure from fans, athletes, and sponsors, all demanding clarity and fairness in the sport. With the league already battling credibility issues, these player eligibility questions had become impossible to dodge. And the timing? Well, it's no coincidence. Women's sports are experiencing a massive boom right now, and this policy might determine who gets to be part of that future. And who doesn't? To real female athletes like Caitlin Clark, this goes way beyond policy. It hits at the heart of everything she's built. Clark's rise has brought millions of fresh eyes to women's basketball, and those fans expect the real deal. Legitimate female competition. If people start questioning whether players even qualify under that label, it could unravel everything Clark has worked for. Watching this testing policy roll out is going to be wild. For players with nothing to hide, this is their chance to shut critics down and validate their spot in the league. But for those with something to lose, expect lawsuits, PR warfare, and media battles to follow. Legal challenges are already bubbling up. Multiple advocacy groups are threatening to sue, claiming the tests violate privacy and unfairly target marginalized communities. But here's the thing, women's sports exist because biological females deserve fair competition. If you can't prove you meet that core requirement, maybe you don't belong in the league at all. The media, of course, is playing its usual role. Major sports outlets are zooming in on the supposed controversy and discrimination rather than focusing on the actual question, fairness. They're more invested in defending their preferred narratives than ensuring real integrity in competition. But fans aren't buying that spin anymore. Social media is blowing up in favor of the testing, with tons of people flat out naming Griner as someone who needs to be examined thoroughly. Honestly, the public's been ahead of the institutions on this issue for a long time. Now the WNBA is finally catching up. And don't sleep on the global ripple effect. Women's leagues around the world are watching how this goes down. If the WNBA pulls this off and actually reinforces competitive fairness, this could be a blueprint for other organizations facing the same questions. The Olympics and international competitions have been stuck in this same debate for years. The WNBA might just end up setting the precedent for how it's handled in a way that balances fairness and transparency while still protecting women athletes. For Griner specifically, this might be the biggest threat to her entire career and reputation. If the testing concludes she doesn't meet the league's biological standards, it could throw her legacy into chaos. Titles, stats, accolades, they'd all come under scrutiny. It's a brutal weight to carry. She's already facing backlash over the Caitlin Clark comments, and now she's up against the possibility that her entire identity as a professional athlete could be ripped apart. That pressure, that could explain the odd behavior, the unpredictable statements. It's not hard to imagine the stress she's under. Meanwhile, other WNBA players are no doubt watching with their eyes wide open. Most of them are biological women who fought tooth and nail to make it to this level. If some of their rivals have been benefiting from biological advantages, those athletes want answers. They deserve answers. Financially, this could go nuclear. If the tests reveal that certain high-profile players shouldn't even be in the league, it could spark lawsuits, scare off sponsors, and alienate fans. But honestly, the long-term payoff, restoring fairness and trust, could outweigh the initial fallout, and it sends a loud, clear signal. The WNBA is done tiptoeing around. For years, critics have accused the league of prioritizing politics over sports, but now the league is putting competition first, and that shift might be exactly what it needs to rebuild trust with fans who felt left behind. Timing, though, is everything. If the league rushes this rollout, legal snags could delay or wreck the whole thing, but move too slowly and people will start accusing them of giving certain players time to dodge the policy. The independent medical review process? That'll be crucial. The league has to make sure the testing is done by legit, unbiased professionals, because the only thing that will make people trust the results is knowing the process had zero funny business. For fans of women's basketball, this move feels long overdue. These athletes are elite. They deserve to compete without constantly wondering if their opponents are playing by the same biological rules. No sport can survive when the integrity of its competition is in doubt. And the precedent here? Huge. If the WNBA pulls this off, other leagues might follow. This could totally reshape how gender eligibility is handled across the board, from school-level sports to global tournaments. The science behind it is also fascinating. Today's medical tech can break down biological sex, hormone levels, and genetic data with precision. These tests won't leave much room for debate. They'll cut straight through the speculation and finally give us hard facts. But you better believe the PR battle will be intense. Both sides are going to go hard, spinning narratives to fit their views. At the end of the day, though, facts from testing are going to speak louder than any talking points or advocacy campaigns. For Brittney Griner, this is the moment, the one everyone's been anticipating. All the questions, the whispers, the controversy. This testing could settle it once and for all. Either she's vindicated, or everything she's achieved might be reinterpreted under a different light. The WNBA's move here proves that even progressive institutions eventually have to confront biological reality. You can dance around facts for a while, but at some point, competitive fairness takes priority over political messaging. This whole scenario captures the cultural collision between gender identity, athletics, and fairness. And the WNBA just became ground zero. Whatever happens next will echo way beyond women's basketball. This could impact how other leagues, schools, and sports bodies across the world handle similar debates going forward. And with this new mandatory gender testing policy in full swing, Brittney Griner is officially in the spotlight, and the results might just rewrite everything we thought we knew about the WNBA. This is the accountability moment everyone's been waiting for. What do you think the test results will show? Drop your take in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping sports coverage.